High Elf Magic phase. Starting from here, my level 2 attempted to cast Fury of King on the Koan Knight, was successful, and does at least 4 wounds, but all of them were saved. So then my Archmage right here attempted to do Fiery Blast on the Blackguards, then went through. Then I attempted to do Fireball on
The ball throwers.
the bolt throwers, and
Spell.
the fireball, and that didn't happen because my opponent dispelled it. Then I attempted Burning Head. That went off with irresistible force, taking out both his crew members. So an effective spell phase. Now on to shooting phase. High Elf shooting phase. The only one that could shoot was my bolt thrower, who volleyed on his sorceress, managed to do 2 wounds to the Pegasus instead. So that's a good setup. Now on to my Dark Elf player opponent's turn.
Alright guys, Dark Elf turn 2. Here's what's going on in the move phase. Starting right over here. My level 4 charges the bolt thrower. We're going to see if we can take care of that real quick. Over here, Dark Riders passing Fear, charging the chariot head on. Down here, the Cold Knight passing Stupidity, charges the spear block right there. Shades over here passing Panic, the Flee I mean, and so they're set right there. Blackguard's moving up a little bit. Over here, the spear block charges the Phoenix Guards, passing the Fear right there. Executioner's falling up behind them. My BSB rallying as well, getting ready to move out that way, so we can't chase out that wizard. And over here, the Hydra gets a charge off on the Dragon Princess and Harpies. They rally too. Now on to the magic phase. Alright, so in the Dark Elf magic phase, here's what happened. Starting from a level 4, right over there. She cast the spell Word of Pain on the Phoenix Guards here. He didn't have enough to dispel it, so it went off. Then I attempted to cast Power Darkness, ended up miscasting, getting a 5 and 6, allowed my opponent to cast a Fire Blast, which aimed at my BSB, and I ended up just dispelling it, and that was it for the magic phase. Now on to the shooting phase. Alright guys, Dark Elf shooting phase, nothing happens, so let's go ahead and jump on right to the combat phase. In the combat phase, a lot of things happened. All the charges that we made went through. Starting from over here, you can see no more bolt thrower. My level 4 ate him up, and I ended up pursuing off the table. So she'll be back my next turn. Over here, Dark Riders, yes, charging the chariot, killing it. Ended up overrunning right into the combat with the spear block and the Koa Knights, but because the Koa Knights ended up eating them up in their combat phase, Dark Riders ended up doing nothing, and now the Spearmen are just fleeing out of the way. Over here, my Spearmen against the Phoenix Guards, the Word of Pain helped a lot, reduced a lot of the attacks back, ended up only just taking 1 loss, but the high number of Spearmen just was too much for the Phoenix Guards to handle, so they ended up fleeing. And lastly, over here, no more Dragon Princes, because the Hydra charged, ate them up, only losing 1 apprentice in the process. But caught up to the Dragon Princes as they fled, and just ate them up good. Alright, turn 3.
Turn 3 of High Elf. Starting off with the charges, managed to successfully charge all the way up here to the Executioners. Managed to rally my Phoenix Guards, and I could not have rallied my spear block that ran off the edge. Managed to move my wizard back over here and turn my wildlands over here. And that's the start off. Now on to the magic phase. High Elf magic phase. And let's start from over here. My Archmage managed to cast Burning Head. Managed to wound 1 Dark Rider and 1 Koa Knight. And
They both passed Panic.
and both of them have successfully passed their panic test. Beyond that, there was no other fire spell I could do, so on to shooting phase. High Elf combat phase. Unfortunately, the shooting phase wasn't so effective, since I missed out on everything. The combat phase was better though. The Stormasters pretty much annihilated 6 of the Executioners, unable to roll double 1, so they ran them. So I caught them up, and the Stormasters ate them up. And that's pretty much been the most successful part of this battle. On to my Dark Elf players on his turn.
Alright, so Dark Elf turn 3. Here's what's going on. First of all, starting from way over here, try to have my Hydras kind of march up here, getting ready to do a little fire breath on the archers there. My spear block here, once again, charging the Phoenix Guards. Now that my level 4 is back in the game, we're going to see what we can do with her. Black Guards moving up, and both the Cold Knights and the Dark Riders prepare the advancement of those two units. And my BSB turns around to face the Stormmasters. So now on to the magic phase. Alright, so in the Dark Elf magic phase, here's what happened. Following the scenario, ended up rolling a 2. So give my high elf opponent +2 to dispel any of the spells I have. The only successful spells were Power Darkness, which I activated first, and a Doom Bolt that went to the archers there, only killing 2 guys. Other than that, all the other spells were just dispelled or just could not get the high enough number. Now on to the shooting phase. Alright, so Dark Elf shooting phase, here's what happened. Starting with the crossman up on the tower still. Double pumping into the Swordmasters here, took out 1 guy. Jumping way over here. My 4 Dark Red here, double pumping into the Archmage, doing 1/1 to the bird itself. And lastly, Hydra, doing its breath, taking out what's left of the archers, so now there's no more archers. Now on to the combat phase. Alright, so Dark Elf combat phase, the only combat we had was the Phoenix Guards and Spears. Those penned over there, as you can see. The Phoenix Guards are broken again by the Spear block. They only managed to do 1 wound, while the Spears managed to do none. But because the Spears first time broke them and took their banner, they lost by 3. Outnumber, 2 rings, and banner. And because they couldn't roll low enough to get it, they ended up fleeing and missed them by 1 inch. So that's it for the Dark Elf turn. Now turn 4.
High Elf turn 4. As you can see, I managed to make a good charge right now. The White Lions to the Cold One Knight, hopefully to beat them. And I managed to rally my Phoenix Guards to take on the Spears. My Archmage managed to fly over here beyond the range of the Dark Riders, so I can hit them. And my Swordmasters managed to turn around to hit the face in against his BSB, as well as my BSB to face his in this combat. Now on to Magic Phase. I love Magic Phase. Pretty successful since the scenario on the roll of 6 gives me strong, gives me extra power dice, and my opponent extra dispel dice, giving us both an additional 6 to our normal. So successfully my Archmage right here managed to do Fiery Blast on the Spearman unit, causing 6 wounds to happen successfully. And then with that, I managed to wipe out the Dark Riders with Fireball, and that pretty much eliminated them. Now, every other spell, unfortunately, has been fully attempted and been dispelled. So now on to Combat Phase. I have Combat Phase, a successful one this time around. Then right here, my White Lions managed to eat enough of the Cold Knights to make them run. Okay, so right now things are looking pretty good. On to the Dark Elf player turn.
Alright, so Dark Elf turn 4. Here's what's going on. Charges, yes, there were some. Black Arts to hit the flank of the White Lions. Over here, my BSB finally in the combat. Decided to go ahead and do it with the Swordmasters. And lastly over here, 3rd time the charm. Spears to the Phoenix Guards. Now on to Magic.